Hi Vanessa, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. Enjoying the nice weather, that's for sure.
Agreed.
I just
It's so
wanted to,
nice.
yeah, I just wanted to check in and see how things have been since we met last time.
Things have been great, honestly. I've just been keeping myself really busy. Work is going good. I feel like despite the last couple months and everything that I went through, I've had some time to really reflect and do a lot of, self-growth and explore new things. So I'm just feeling really good. Feel like I'm in a way better place.
And how has the gym been? I know that we've set that as a goal that you were going to start going more frequently.
The gym has been really good. I'm starting to feel really, confident and just starting to really kind of, obviously confidence as far as physically, but also just mentally, emotionally, all of that, and making some new friends. I did meet a couple guys, but, I'm going to hold off because I don't want to jump into anything too soon while I'm still, taking my time.
Absolutely, 100% understandable. I know that you had some other interests that you said you were going to look into, like cooking classes and like a book club. I know you
Mhm.
have you're working right now and you have the gym and things. How has that been? Have you had a chance to check those things out or
So I did try cooking class and I am not a good cook at all. So I enjoyed it because it was fun, but I don't know if it's really like something I'm gonna stick to be honest.
you tried it? That's all that I could say. If you don't think you're a good cook, the cooking classes might be helpful.
That's true. That's very true. So maybe I'll give it maybe I'll give it another shot. But I
Or
did try it. I did put myself outside of my comfort zone a little bit. I just embarrassed myself in the process.
did you at least try eating what you made?
I had a bite, but that's all I wanted after that.
You tried. You tried. I
Yes.
know when we met the last time we spoke, and I was supposed to send you over some Zoom links to look over and cruise and see if there was a group or anything that you want to join about self-esteem. But it seems like even if you didn't do that, that you're doing quite well with the self-esteem. Even talking about yourself not doing so well in the cooking class, you seem to brush it off as a success, even though it wasn't a success at the time. So,
Yes, yeah, correct.
so
So as far as the self-esteem stuff, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Um, and I as far as like with my ex-husband, we are kind of through like the whole process, so we shouldn't have to like go back to court or do any of those things. So I think also like kind of out of sight, out of mind for me. Um, if I were to see him again, I don't know, I hope I wouldn't downward spiral in any way. But I think as far as the groups that you recommended, instead of maybe doing like a self-esteem or anything, kind of doing something more along the lines of relationships or maybe getting over relationships. I don't know if there's anything similar or that you would recommend that'd be close to that. But I just know like a part of me is still, nervous about having to see him and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. Or maybe if I were to pursue a new relationship, kind of how to go about that.
so like appropriate boundaries kind of thing, like working through that, like relationship wise. We can definitely look into it and make some referrals if we need to, or find something in the community like support groups wise, kind of go from there. Um and see what's best and works out best for you. If at the end of the day we could also make those goals of things that you could do for yourself, like you could get out there and see what's available for you and kind of make that. I know in the past we've talked about like a termination and seeing how things were to go and see what you want to do with it. How are you feeling with that now, like as far as your
You're talking.
successes, like where you're at?
Well, I honestly feel like this has been so helpful, and I feel like a new person, after the last couple months. So As far as progress, I feel like I've made a lot of progress, and there's still some things I want to continue working on, and just I guess little things like that, and get myself out there, try some groups, things like that. But at the same time, I feel like I'm in a really good place, much better than I was before.
So if we were to create this plan of like what this what the termination process would look like for you, how sudden would you want it to be, or would you want today to be your last session, or do you want a couple more sessions and then we go from there and refer you to some groups? It's like how what would that look like for you? And we could go from meeting like right now we meet bi-weekly, we could go to meeting like once a month, like doing a monthly check-in so we can get the
Um,
referrals made to what would better fit for you.
I think that, and I appreciate you giving me all of these options. I would say that probably extending our sessions, like in between, would be good because I feel like I'm still being held accountable, but at the same time, I wouldn't need it at the level that I was doing before.
So like meeting once a month and just doing like a brief like 30-minute session to see how things are going. I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
could
think that'd be
definitely do
good.
that. And that way like we can find what groups work for you and what don't work, and if we need referrals made, we can definitely make a plan and go from there and do that. So I'll have to do some research on my end to figure out some groups around the relationship building piece and definitely forward them over to you and we can kind of go from there. I don't feel like we need to meet again for that. We can kind of do that via email if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That'd be great. Thank you.
definitely get it situated because I know we're getting to that busy point of school. You guys have all the fun things going on, especially with the warm weather
Mm-hmm.
coming. You get to go outside and things like that. How are you feeling with like your
Mm-hmm.
drinking? Are we doing it a lot
Um,
still? Or are we refraining, only doing it a couple days a week? Like, how's that going?
Well, so I would say that I haven't refrained completely. I still once in a while am going out and just trying to have a good time, and I don't think it's necessarily a problem. Um, I'm not unable to get out of bed and go to work like it was before. So I've definitely been able to stick within my limits of what I'm still able to function. But a couple friends that, I talked about before that I wanted to reconnect with, we got together and, had a couple. And, I'm not saying it's a great coping mechanism, but at the same time, I know my limits and it's not detrimental to any of my other responsibilities.
Well, I feel like when you went out with your friends and things, you weren't using it as a coping skill. You were doing it in a social component.
Hmm.
You weren't doing it because you were depressed or upset or anything like that. You were doing it because it's something normal to do, to go out and have a drink with a friend, catch up with them. You weren't doing it to go binge drink to the point that you just didn't want to be alone anymore.
Right,
You
right.
didn't go out alone. You took somebody with you. So I feel like it's two different types of drinking. One is the not so good kind, and the other is the good kind. You're using it more appropriately.
For
So,
sure. All right. Well, thank you so
um,
much. I appreciate you saying that.
most definitely. How are well? You said you've been reconnecting with friends, and I know some of those friends were with your husband, your
Hmm.
ex-husband. Some of those friends were coexisting, where you guys kind of both socialized. How has that been?
It's been good. Like I said last time, we were able to um my friends were able to kind of separate that, and instead of looking at us as a package or anything like that, they just truly value and appreciate our friendship, even if we're not together. So that's been really nice. I try to I don't necessarily hang out with them as much as I used to because I try to avoid having to you know hang out with my ex or anything, but at the same time it's nice to know that I still have that friendship even if it's from afar.
Right. And I mean, that's a good thing. At the end of the day, it's just you have to kind of set those new limits and those boundaries, and you're getting there. You're learning to see what works for you and what it doesn't. And I mean, there's going to come a point, I'm sure, that you do run into him in public and you'll have to cross that bridge and see how it goes. And hopefully, by the time that happens, you got enough support system that you feel okay with it. So I'm sure you guys have to see each other. You guys don't live far from one another. You guys are in the same area
Uh,
still.
oh, you cut out. I'm so sorry. What'd you say? Oh, now you're
I said, I'm
frozen.
sure you guys live in the same area still, so you'll have to. There you go. Are you unfrozen?
Yes, I think you're good. Sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. It's the glitches of Zoom when we have these issues. I said, I'm sure you guys run into each other, or at least see each other in the community because you guys live in the same area, right? It's not like you guys uprooted and moved away from each other. You guys are still kind of close proximity.
Right. Yeah. So now I'm in the apartment and he stayed in the house, but we're still in the same community. There's a little bit of distance, but not enough in my opinion. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's all good. It's all good. Um, let's see what else we got going on. Is there anything else that you feel that we need to talk about and address?
I don't think so. I want to thank you for helping me through this, really difficult time. And when I first met with you, I feel like I was really crumbling and just life was falling apart. And all of your guidance has kind of helped bring me to a better place and, help me through that. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, you're the one who's making all the progress. You're making the strides. You're doing what you need to do to feel better about yourself and not really caring what anybody else says, that you're putting yourself first, which is something it sounded like you kind of struggled with before. So you're definitely making them progress and doing the things that you need to do.
For sure.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
as long as you're okay with it and we've kind of got a plan of what's going to happen, we're going to meet a couple more months, but spread some time out and do so a couple shorter sessions just to kind of do check-ins and make sure you're still doing what you want to do and make sure that you still have that kind of accountability, as you said. Um, and I will send over the groups as soon as I find them. I have to look around and see what's in the area or see if we have to do Zoom. Does in person work better or does a Zoom for that work better?
Probably Zoom just because the schedule's so crazy right now that um, it would be an easier option if possible.
All right. Well, I'll send you over a couple options. I'll see what I can find. I'm sure the Zoom for that is going to be a little easier to find than it is going to be to an in-person one. But I'll definitely look and get that stuff started for you. And hopefully in the next couple months, we're making the progress that you want and you're where you want to be. And we could even meet one more time and you feel okay with termination and we can just do it whenever you'd like. Um, it's not something where we have to set in stone for 2 or 3 months. If we meet one more time and you're in a good place and you've done the groups and you've found what you want to do and the progress is there, we can set you free.
All right.
As
Well,
long as
thank
that's
you.
okay with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you kind of letting me set the pace as well. So I appreciate that.
All right. So I will leave you be, Vanessa, if you're okay with that. And we'll kind of go from there. And I look forward to an email to see what you want me to set up for you or refer you to.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.